On February 21st, TMN will air its newest spring talk show, Rising from Our Roots, which is hosted by our very own Amber Draper. So Amber has agreed to talk to us today about her new show. So thank you, Amber, for that. So can you tell us about the premise of this new show?
Yeah, so I wanted to create a show that kind of focused on the history of movements and organizations. I'm a little bit of a history buff myself, and so I wanted to look at how the development of those organizations and movements have kind of impacted the people currently involved in them. So far I've had a lot of fun researching about these organizations and interviewing people who are really trying to live up to the legacy of what they're a part of.
Okay, so you said you're a bit of a history buff, but how specifically did you come up with the premise for this show?
So actually originally I was not interested in hosting a talk show, but I remember during a time during the summer, everything literally just came to me, and I went home immediately and I wrote everything down. And from that point, the idea has really developed, and I'm really happy with the way that things are starting to progress with the idea, and I'm really excited to continue with all of the future episodes.
Okay, so what can viewers expect from the very first episode?
So the very first episode is one that I'm actually really excited about. It's about the Divine Nine, and for those who don't know, the Divine Nine is comprised of fraternities and sororities that are historically African American. And I think when people think of fraternities and sororities, they think of partying or being really well known on campus, but these organizations go beyond that. One of the main reasons why they were created was to create a sisterhood and brotherhood between African Americans, and the reason that they all started was because they couldn't join other fraternities and sororities because they were people of color. So I actually had a really good time interviewing two people who are a part of the Divine Nine and talking to them about why it's so important. One, because the organizations themselves go out and support equality amongst minorities on a national level as well. So it was really cool to talk to these guys and see why it's so important to them and how they're living up to the dreams of why it all started.
So Truman does have members of the Divine Nine here on campus?
Yes, there are a total of 9. Unfortunately, we only have 2 active fraternities that are a part of the Divine Nine, and we don't have any sororities, which is why I again wanted to kind of showcase this, because I don't think many people know that they're even on campus. So I had a lot of fun doing it, and I really kind of wanted to just inform people about the organizations.
Okay, very interesting. So last year we had Justin Lewis's talk show,
Yeah.
Live to Inspire. How is this show different from that one?
So I was personally a really big fan of Justin's talk show, and I think without Justin doing a talk show, or Jackie Yu, who hosted a talk show a couple years ago, I don't even think I would have thought of doing a talk show as a possibility. So they did really inspire me to kind of come up with this idea and kind of execute everything. But I think the biggest difference between my talk show and Justin's is that Justin really focused on the individual in their story, and it was really personal in that aspect. But mine has more to do with the organization as a whole and kind of what they have done that has kind of made it possible for the people involved in them to kind of live up to that and kind of continue the legacy.
Okay. So what actually goes into the process of actually creating a talk show?
So there's actually a lot that goes into the process. You know, we have filming, we have interviews, we have contacting different people, we have editing, we have the writing. So there's a lot that goes into it, but I definitely don't do it alone. And so there are a lot of people behind the scenes that help with everything as well.
So did any part of the process really surprise you?
I think the number one thing that surprised me doing this talk show was I didn't realize how much fun I was going to have doing it. I think of all the activities that I've done at Truman, this is actually one of the things that I've had a lot of fun doing, and I wasn't exactly expecting that, just because it is really time consuming and there's not necessarily an exact schedule of when everything's going to get done, but it's definitely worth it, and I'm really happy the way everything has turned out so far.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you for telling us all about this, Amber, and we're really looking forward to seeing your show, which airs February 21st at 5:30 p.m. right here on Channel 36.